Using your oils topically or on your skin is a fantastic way to use them. You can use them for a range of different reasons, and not only do they smell good, but they can be really great for helping soothe skin. For me, I've always got my trusty bag, and most of you, my friends, will have seen me dive into this bag, especially for things like, if you've had a mozzie bite or something like that. I'll be always getting out my tea tree roller and chuck that on. It's a fantastic way to store them, and thanks to my beautiful friend Michelle who made it for me. So this bag has my blend for head tension, it's got my Women's Monthly blend, it's got my perfumes in it, it's got a ton of stuff in it, and I carry them everywhere I go. Now this bag is padded, and this is to keep the oils insulated from sunlight and heat, and both of those things can help to degrade your oils. They basically will mean your oils will oxidize faster. So the more cool and out of sunlight you can keep your oils, the more pure and potent they stay. And that's also why doTERRA sell them in amber glass jars, and we make our rollers generally in amber bottles. Right, so that's storage of your oils. Now, the next thing I'll talk about is how you dilute them. Now, there's heaps of information out there and so many graphics that have ridiculously strong concentrations that people recommend, and when you look into it, most clinical aromatherapists don't recommend past 5 to 10% concentration for oils, and some of these are recommending 50% and even stronger than that. Now the only time I would use oils neat would be, say, where's my lavender, would be a drop of lavender, not even a drop, on the tip of my finger onto a mozzie bite, which I've got plenty of this summer. That's the only time I use my oils neat. And the reason I don't use them neat a lot is because our oils through doTERRA are the most pure and potent you can get. And it's a waste pretty much to use any more than that. And I've talked about it before, but also if you apply a drop of oil onto your skin, rub it in, 70% of that is evaporated into the universe. That's a waste. So every time you use your oils, think about diluting them and make sure you think about the right dilution rates. The next thing is thinking about who you're using your oils on. Now, with my kids, I use them at a way lower concentration than I use for myself, and especially babies. Now, babies have thinner skin than us adults and even older children. Babies' skin lacks the same amount of sort of keratin and the hardness through our skin that creates the barrier. So this makes the skin of babies and kids way more sensitive to irritation and that kind of thing. But also, babies and children's organs are way less mature than ours as adults, and the body basically takes the oil in and whatever else you put on with it. So it takes it in any products that you put on your skin. That gets through your capillaries and into your bloodstream, and your immune system has to go around and basically figure out what things are and what to do with them, and eventually everything has to be metabolized, and that's generally through your liver and your kidneys. Babies and kids, as their kidneys and liver are more immature, they're susceptible to toxicity, and that's why we look at using way less on babies. And in a 10 ml roller, I wouldn't recommend any more than a drop or two for an infant. And I'll be putting up my dilution rates really soon, but if you want something immediate, there's some great stuff through Robert Tisserand and the Using Essential Oils Safely website, so check them out. And then also consider if you're using something in pregnancy. Now, in pregnancy, your skin can also be susceptible to sensitivity and irritation, and you'll also notice that things like your sense of smell and taste are quite heightened, so you might find that using a strong dilution of an oil just doesn't agree with you at all. But also the fact that nobody really knows what happens to oils and that kind of thing through fetal circulation, because if it goes into your bloodstream, they're highly likely to cross the placenta. Oil molecules are that small that they have the ability to cross through the placenta, and that's why it's great to dilute really well. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is the fact that some oils can produce a response to the sun. So the bergamot or bergamot, however you want to call it, potato to potato, citrus oils, if you apply them to your skin, so say I applied it here and went out in the sun, this area here would be more susceptible to sunburn. So if you're going to use citrus oils on yourself, especially in summer, more so in summer, put them on places that aren't going to be exposed to the sun. You can still use them topically, obviously, but just be mindful of where you put them. because of the photosensitivity. And I think some of the doTERRA bottles actually say that they cause photosensitivity. So if it's got a citrus oil in it, just be mindful. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is how to make a roller. Rollers are easy. As I've shown you, I carry them around everywhere. These are about $1.50 or $2 each. This is only a 5mm roller. To make them is simple. You need 3 ingredients: your carrier oil, your roller bottle, and your essential oil. Put the lids half on or slightly on. Give it a half turn. You don't even have to turn it. And pull it out. And the top will come out. That's how you get the lid out to put your oils in. You then decide whatever your blend is going to be in the correct dilution or the recommended dilution for whoever is going to be using the bottle, and put a couple of drops in or however much you're using, and then top it up with your carrier oil. Put the lid on and label it. I've got about 10 of these kicking around. I'll be honest that I didn't label immediately, and I can sort of smell what's in it, but I have no idea the dilution. I don't know who it was intended for. I don't even know what it is. Make sure you label them straight away, otherwise you're going to have surprise bottles everywhere and it's such a waste. So this one here is my postpartum emotions blend, and it's got frankincense, lavender and bergamot in it. Make sure you label it and who it's for. So I've got a couple of immune support rollers, one for my kids and one for me, and I wouldn't use the same concentration on me than I would my 5-year-old. So all of my blends for kids have that. I've blended it for kids to make sure that you know exactly what and who it was intended for. So that was my bit of a quick blurb about oils and use topically. I don't want to freak everyone out. It's more to make you think about, how to use them and use them safely, because you want to get the best out of your oils, and I want you to get the best out of your oils in a safe way. If you've got any questions, please send me a message and I will get in contact with you shortly.